Just thinking about that today. It's been a while.
What do you want to start with here? First of all,
we got to do this.
First of all,
CBP whipping boy. We got to do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So the UK, we got to stick it. Sorry,
Doug. Sorry, Doug. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
welcome to the Sorry, Doug segment of the show here, where we talk about
well, you know what? There's going to be a lot of domestic whipping going on. This is just more of an international whipping. So somebody posted a time-lapse video of a car that was parked somewhere legally in London. I'm not sure if you saw this. Some city worker, I presume it's a city worker, decided, you know what? I'm going to fucking paint some lines around the car. And it's going to be some disabled person vehicle type of lines to note, right? So you had this fucking car.
Great description there. Disabled person type lines.
So it's fucking parked legally, and the disabled person vehicle lines were painted around it after the fact. The car was fine till the lines came up, parked without an issue, but then, you know, the city worker had to do his thing. Now the car's parked illegally. Whoops. And, well, you know what? Didn't have the disabled driver tag. It got fucking ticketed because the enforcement officer came by, ticketed the car. Brilliant stuff. Changing the rules on the go. The coming back from wherever. It's like, what the fuck is this line here? The fuck is this ticket here? I didn't see this shit before. He was lucky he was able to get his hands on these time-lapse videos. Eventually they decided to waive the fines. But what a fucking joke, man.
I love this story. That's a banger. You know what's funny too? Like, the number of times you hear stories about, you know, meter maids and stuff coming up to your car and being unforgiving. Come on, I'm about to leave. No, I got to write the ticket. I already started the process. How would you like to come up to your car and see them painting a handicap parking space around your car and then tagging you for it? How would that go down? Like, what do you even say? The story is, I already started painting the box. You're getting the ticket now.
I got a bud that does that kind of stuff. It's funny stories. But yeah, anyways, the Federal Reserve, they're going to be beginning reserve management bond buying.
That's right. It's not QE. Anything but QE over there at the Federal Reserve.
Different name. And they need this to do with liquidity, because they went with liquidity in the markets, and they're stepping up to the plate, and they're going to buy short-term bonds. Love to see this intervention. Don't let the market play out the way it should. Intervene as much as possible. The system is fucked. And right, this is a capitalist system, right? Like, you're fucking privatizing the gains, socializing the losses, and then the whole process, you're devaluing the currency.
Hey, come on, Len. The guy's got to do something over there. He's what did Scott Besson call it? He said the Federal Reserve is UBI for economists. He doesn't think any of them actually do anything over there.
It's fucking throwing darts. They're tossing around $40 billion.
I love it.
Just like it's nothing. Like, when I spend $40, Joey, I feel guilty. But when they throw $40 billion around, it's just another day at the office at the Federal Reserve. QE, bring it on, man. Bring it on.
It's balance sheet expansion under a different name always. And I just don't understand why. Like, how do they think no one knows this? I started listening, by the way, to Peter Schiff's podcast again, because he's always good when the Federal Reserve is up to something. He's good to listen to. He's so funny. And he was making the case too that, like, you're seeing this balance sheet expansion now. They've never done balance sheet expansion while they're missing the target on inflation. And they're missing the target by about 50% right now. They're a little under 3%. The target, obviously, at least in name, is 2%. So you're watching them cut rates into high inflation while also monetizing debt. And they can say that they're doing it because the repo facilities are starting to get drained, like the reserves are starting to get drained. But I mean, the result is going to be the same. I think, and I said this to the guy at the bank when I redid my mortgage in October, September, whatever day that was, whatever month that was, that the reason I wanted to extend my AM out even further and lower my monthly payment is because there's just no way that the S&P is going to have a bad year when Trump gets to pick a Federal Reserve chair, when there's a midterm coming, and when the Federal Reserve, even under this sort of more hawkish administration or hawkish regime, is doing QE and cutting rates. You're going to, whatever you put your money in, Bitcoin, gold, stocks, you will crush, man. You will crush, because the money's got to go somewhere, and it ain't going to Pokemon cards. This is where it's going to wind up.
It depends. Those Pokemon cards, you see that when they go on sale, the fucking rush.
If you got a misprint Charizard, hit me up, bro. Hit me up.
Is that the new ones? Because people are just going nuts whenever
the first set of Pokemon cards that was out in like the 99, 98 year, Those cards, if you have like a first edition, like Charizard, some of these other holographic cards, Blastoise, Venusaur, big money, especially if you get them slabbed and graded, big money.
Michael Ma.
What is there to say? The dancer. Are the Liberals going to wind up with a majority here? Because it seems to me that they're going to. And this brings into focus for people who think that voting matters. Okay, let's talk about two things related to voting. First, the story is that this guy crossed the floor from the Conservatives to the Liberals after the Conservative dinner party where he was, apparently cutting a rug. If you think voting matters, I got two things to tell you, and then I want to hear, why someone would continue to believe voting matters. Let's talk about the most important thing here. No one votes for the local candidate. They vote for the prime minister. So your local candidate could be, a stone or a finger painting. And if it was a liberal and you wanted a liberal prime minister, you'd vote for him. If it was a conservative, you want a conservative prime minister, you'd vote for him. I don't know anything about my local candidate. I don't even know my local candidate's name.
That applies for a lot of swing ridings.
Of course.
There are some ridings that are just regardless of who's there.
That's right. And so when people say that voting matters and I'm picking my representative, do you think those people feel like they got a raw deal because they voted for a conservative prime minister and then this guy crossed the floor and added firepower to the Liberal Party? Then I saw today that Minister Hodgson wouldn't give an answer when the reporters were asking him, do you think you guys are going to have a majority at some point? He just looked at the camera with a smirk. They're going to get it. They are going to get it. And then what?
The timeline was interesting because, like you said, he went to the Conservative Party. The next day, this is from what I gather. I got to confirm this to be true, though. The next day, 3:00, he voted in favor of a conservative motion or in favor with the Conservative Party. He voted in line with the Conservative Party. 3:00. 3 hours later, crossed the floor. So somewhere between voting and crossing the floor, he was convinced to switch parties. He knew this all along. This isn't the worst, though. People look at this as fucking brutal, blah, blah, blah. This isn't the worst. 2006, David Emerson was voted in Vancouver Kingsway or something. I forget the name of the riding.
Yeah.
As a Liberal. It was like mid-January 2006 was the election. 2 weeks plus later, the Harper cabinet swore in their members. And out comes all the, fucking McKay, all these people come out, and included was Emerson. Nobody knew he crossed the floor. This guy 2 weeks earlier was just voted in as a Liberal.
Yeah.
And then switch before they even fucking did anything, switch parties. That was the absolute worst, in my opinion. But this floor crossing bullshit, this is just part of the game. And
shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed, I think.
Emerson, by the way, said, when he did that, I remember you mentioned Garth Turner.
Yeah.
Remember that guy you mentioned?
Yeah.
That guy, he said at the time, he was in the Conservative Party, he said, you know what? Anybody that crosses should be fucking put to a vote. Then he crossed the fucking floor without even doing right. He crossed the floor to the Liberals, first independent. So you know what I mean? Like, say what you want.
Yeah.
There's enough evidence to show what's they're trying to achieve here, whatever, individually. But as a party, they're so fucking close to becoming. But once they get that majority, even like it's going to be like just borderline majority, the first person that steps down because they're retiring or something happens, then they're back in the situation they have to do a by-election, and that fucking riding is going to be massive.
Right.
That's going to decide, do you have a majority government or not? And you're going to see them throw all the firepower into that riding, into that by-election to figure out who's going to maintain power. That's going to be fun to watch. Plus, Polyev getting his leadership review in February.
It's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up.
How could he stick around? He does not have control of what's going on. Lost his own seat, a very safe seat. I know they redrew the boundaries of the riding, but still lost it. So he didn't even win his own fucking seat. Now he's losing two people's cross floor. One wanted to cross the floor, but they fucking did something. He's just retiring. So they're losing people enough. And they just had an election 6 months ago.
Yeah.
8 months ago. Not looking good, man.
No. Interesting times to be in Canadian politics and be an observer for sure. But the stakes are high. Like you're talking about abandoning the U.S. as a, I don't know, military partner, trade partner, more or less, or trying to going to Europe. Europe is, a tire fire. So this is a consequential time. And if there's a majority, pragmatically, he's probably already got a majority, to be honest with you, between the Greens and the NDP. So we'll see what the NDP does for their leadership race and if that changes things. But, I don't know what's going to happen there.
The
Abby Lewis is going to wind up being the leader, even though I really hope it ends up being that Labor guy with the beard. He seems like he'd be great fun in QP.
So the Conservative leader, whoever it's going to be after February, they got to run a leadership. It's going to be a while before you know who it's going to be.
Yeah,
they're in a tough position.
Yeah.
What do you do? You're going to have this notion. You're going to see Western provinces talking more and more about separating. And as
been quiet on that front since the MOU. I will note that it's been quiet on that front.
Saskatchewan, there's been a little bit of a rise in the past little while. Okay. Not just that, you have in Quebec, Pablo Rodriguez, there's been apparently some corruption going on about his leadership when he got elected the leader of the Liberal Party of Quebec. And with that, if they perceive the Liberal Party provincially to be corrupt, that could bleed into federally. So you could then have a movement back in Quebec for potential separation, looking at these guys, they're corrupt, blah, blah. Yeah. So you're going back to, you're going to go to a sovereignist party rather than so that's going to be problematic. So if you have that, now you have on two fronts, you have people they wanted to have separation. What does a Conservative Party candidate do?
They have to rebrand. Like it's a huge rebranding exercise too, because Poilievre has been so divisive and so focused on TikTok that they don't really have a platform. So
I don't know what their platform is.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a huge undertaking, and I don't think people realize that. But
I don't know what their path moving forward is.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard for them to maintain a lock on Western Canada if they want to be a Federalist Party.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard for them to make gains anywhere else if they don't want to be a Federalist Party. The Liberals, the one thing about them, they're going to eventually collapse. And it's just because no party is in there forever. Eventually, parties, the only one that I can remember that lasted forever, long enough, was the Conservatives in Alberta. Eventually, the NDP supplanted them. And also the Conservatives in Ontario. Then it was the Liberals that took them out in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, they just, they crumble just because there's infighting. Anyways, the Finch LRT, Joey, you been following this stuff?
Someone tried to convince me that Olivia Chow has been a good mayor because she's reduced the city's debt by like a little shy of $1 billion in the time she's been the mayor, as if there hasn't been enormous cuts to services and other shit, and the city completely falling apart, crime-ridden, drug-ridden.
So you're comparing a time when they were spending like crazy, COVID.
Yeah.
And as you stop spending on those programs, you're saying that that's a success.
Yeah, shocker.
So, yeah, you cut off both legs, and then you're bleeding like crazy. Then you stop the bleeding. It's great because you're no longer bleeding, but now you don't have any fucking legs.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
The Finch LRT, Hamilton. I'm not sure what what's going on over there with the LRT, but I know there was lots of talk about them getting it, but
nothing's going on.
You know what? I hope they don't get it because it's Bush League. Toronto got it. That's serving the northwest part of the city, an area that I'm very familiar with. I grew up in that neck of the woods, and it goes from Finch Station to Humber College, and the total length of the line is 10 kilometers or around 6 miles, depending which way you want to look at it. 18 stops in total, $3.5 billion to get it going. And so it's like just one funding round to the Z-Man, right? 3.5 billion. It's not.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what? At least the money is being better served at the new LRT. It's not perfect, but it's better than giving it to Z-Man. But the reason why it's not perfect, it takes a solid hour to get from one line to another. In fact, it's so slow that a runner by the name of Mac Bauer decided to race it. And the winner, Mac Bauer, he ran the length of the line. It took him 46 minutes, including stopping at stoplights. So it's a pretty decent pace for a 10K. And the LRT took 1 hour and 4 minutes. He took 46 running it. LRT 1 hour and 4 minutes. Same length of time. Same distance. they have no clue how to do public transit.
Yeah.
If you want to take it, like public transit in general, you want to take a train anywhere, Joey, you have to be ready for long rides.
Yeah, somebody might kill you.
You might get shot.
Crack. Yeah, light you on fire.
Not only that, the cost is pathetic. Like you try taking a train in Canada, it's very. They're talking now about high-speed rail. I can't believe we still don't have high-speed rail, Joey. I did some searching about high-speed rail. Do you know who has high-speed rail? A country by name of Uzbekistan.
Yeah, Uzbekistan.
They have fucking high-speed rail.
It's a hub for technological progress over there.
Their GDP is $100 billion. It's a fraction of what Canada's GDP is, yet they have fucking high-speed rail.
Are they a homogenous society culturally?
I would imagine so, yes.
This is ultimately going to be the problem for a lot of these countries. That what we've done, actually, Chamath talked about it a little bit on All In. I wish I could remember the exact quote, but I really did like it. I bookmarked it for Sip and Rip. Canada is being held hostage by its own stupidity. At the municipal level, at the federal level, provincial level, where there's too many conflicting interests and competing interests that are related to cultural problems that we can't move forward. And you're seeing like the sort of most interesting lines to draw are if you look at the countries that are homogenous in terms of their culture and religions and stuff like that, China, Uzbekistan, some others, as long as it's not Islam, you're basically getting countries that are moving forward way faster. China is obviously the best example, and there's some other stuff that goes into that. But I would make the case that the reason that government is allowed to do the things they are and exist at the level they do is because there's the expectation that continuity is the most important thing and long-term planning is the most important thing. And so you end up with this dynastic way of thinking, and you just get all sorts of great stuff out of it. And over here, they're framed as a number of things that are not so pleasant. But Len, like we can't build a high-speed line. We can't build an LRT. My wife just wanted to go to Toronto 2 weeks ago for a musical, and the GO train wasn't going that way from Burlington, and it wasn't replaced with a bus. It's going to be out for the entire month of December. Like what is that? Yeah, what is that? It might just be the weekend trains. I don't know exactly, but yeah, they're not running. And so like the little stuff like that is embarrassing, but it's so the expectations are so low now that no one even really talks about it. Well, it's not even a story, So I'm not sure what to make of all these things happening in Canada or not happening, I guess, in this case. But the Finch line, like, who cares? By the way, Toronto. No, it is a disaster. I shouldn't say who cares, but what I want to say is that it's very clear what the problems are, and no one wants to do anything about it. So whatever, let it continue to fall and falter and fail, and I don't expect it to get any better in the next little while.
All from David Miller, if you recall him, he was the mayor of Toronto. He was a card-carrying NDP too at the time. So
is that before Tory? How long are we talking?
Yes, he actually went up against Tory and he beat Tory. In one of the times Tory lost. And yeah, so his agenda was he wanted to make these LRTs all over. So you have the Eglinton Crosstown, you have the Finch LRT, shit like that. That's what he wanted to put in. You're taking a live lane of traffic away. You're putting in a slower service. And just whatever.
And it's done. The other thing too that we don't account for oftentimes in Hamilton, it's been particularly bad. By the time it's done, the technology is outdated. It's hard to replace, hard to repair, hard to operate because no one's using it anymore. No one's building these things anywhere else in the world. We're the only place. We're 50 years behind.
Maybe they are. I'm not sure. As long as it's like standardized dimensions. I know that TTC for their subway is not standardized dimensions. Yeah, they got to specially make this shit for them. Let's talk about another beauty story. And I know this one's gonna fucking rile you up. I'm gonna butcher her name, and I'm sorry. Jolene Van Alstyne.
Okay.
And she's the one that is looking like she's gonna be up for maid, and Glenn Beck wants to pay for her. So she needs to have something to treat her disease. She's got some sort of rare disease.
Some thyroid problem, I think, right? Yeah.
And in order to be treated first, she has to get seen by a specialist. The specialist, well, she can't find a specialist. It's not possible to get it. So she's stuck. And she's been approved for maid.
Yeah, she's been approved for maid. Glenn Beck picked up on the story and is going to pay to have her surgery done in America, which is like so embarrassing for us. The problem I have with the story is like it's not actually that she can't find a specialist. There's like 30 specialists that can do the review of her case, but all of them are, quote, not accepting new patients. So what? You're just going to kill her instead? That's the plan for the healthcare system here? Kill her. Okay. Well, I appreciate that MAID has to be an option for people who are going through terminal illness, who don't want to suffer or be, dementia ridden or things like this. I get that. But it can't be the alternative to finding someone who can review your case because they don't have room for new patients. That cannot be an option. That should be illegal. It should be criminal. It should be criminal to suggest it. And listening to her husband talk to the media asking the right questions. Does your wife want to die or no? No, she doesn't want to. She has no choice. She's in too much pain. No one will treat her. Free healthcare, baby. Free healthcare. We're in big trouble here. The new citizenship rules, Mark Wiseman becoming part of the cabinet now, or becoming some kind of role ambassador or something to the United States. Like these people want this country flooded with immigrants from places where they can't build 2-story buildings, where the museums have no art. They just have sticks leaning on cups. Like you have no idea how bad things could get here if we don't turn this around in the next 5 years. It's gonna be bad. And I see people in the chat talking about how Canada's in the fourth turning. Like, yeah, man, I think we are. I think we are too. It's hard to deny that.
Food banks. We talk about food banks quite a bit on this show, and usage is up. It's like at record high. And every month they keep reporting, every quarter they keep reporting on stats, and it's always a record high, and it just keeps going up and up and up. Yeah. National Post came up with an article saying how food bank usage is being used by people who are defrauding the system, including recent immigrants and international students.
Shocking.
They say this has been going on for a while. In fact, this goes back to 2022. A YouTuber by the name of Mr. Patel, back in 2022, is an engineering student on a study visa in Canada, showed to his viewers how to get $500 in free food by simply visiting the food bank. And which very interesting, because I shouldn't be doing that if you're an international student. You obviously should be able to pay your own way. And he got a lot of negative press, and he deleted the video shortly thereafter. But then there was another one, a woman who moved to Canada from Nigeria. She uploaded a video of herself posting unboxing a PlayStation 5, and followed a month later by going to the food bank and her haul about getting over there. So you have people over there going to the food bank. They're able to buy a brand new PlayStation.
Where is that? Where is that story from?
National Post.
But where? Like, where is the PS5 being unboxed? Here?
I have the YouTube video here. I'll just post it.
Sure.
There's the YouTube video for that. And then from the same user, here's the haul at the food bank.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, man,
you can't get healthcare and they want to kill you. But people come here from, again, stick and cup countries, gold machine gun countries, fraudulent countries. You see what's happening in Somalia right now, or Somalia, may as well be Somalia, Minnesota, with their defrauding of systems. Like, these communities don't care about you at all. They don't care about Canada. They don't care about your way of life. They don't care about being honest. And high trust societies are really the thing you need to make modernity work. Certainly to make a welfare state work, you cannot have low trust societies. And we're importing people from low trust societies. This, by the way, the kindest thing I can say about them. There's many other things that I wouldn't say in mixed company, but they're just not the people you want around. And Trump is right. Yet again, Trump is right, if abrasive, but he is correct that you don't want these people in your country. You should. You know what's crazy to me? That suddenly it feels like just in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, this has been completely blown open. This idea that people need to be denaturalized and remigrated back to their homes by any means necessary. Just get them the fuck out. How can you not sympathize with that view when every week on this show, you find a story that basically says these people are incompatible with modern society? Well, remigration, if this keeps up, remigration is going to be the most measured response. Because looking at what's happening in Australia right now and here and some other places, where migrant crime is through the roof, migrant scams through the roof, migrant social disruption through the roof, there's going to be a lot of people who call for much harsher outcomes than remigration. And I think that the governments around the world need to be concerned about this. This is, by the way, why speech laws have come into focus for governments. The same governments who can't build high-speed rail find ways to get in line at the same time on you can no longer criticize immigration, Islam, whatever. Like, it's not a mystery that this is happening at the same time, although I think the boomers don't really get it. But you're really starting to see things change quickly here. And the reason you have Bitcoin is because you want to be able to operate outside of a system like that. You don't want your money being held hostage by someone who says, well, you said something mean online, and so you're not going to be able to use the bank. That's the world you're in now, but it's going to become more obvious as the number of things you can't say grows. It's bad, man. It's very bad.
And there's one guy that I forgot to mention. He was interviewed in English. Wasn't his native tongue. He says, in line at the food bank, George just got out of the food bank line. He says, whatever is there in your own country, just leave everything behind and come over here. You can come here and taste Canada like me. And he's showing off his haul.
It's unbelievable. People should stop, by the way. Like, I was thinking about this a little bit because it's obviously like charity season. And, I went to the grocery store yesterday and everyone's asking for a couple bucks for this, couple bucks for that. I'm not giving anybody any money unless they are actively pushing for lowered or zero immigration. I'm not giving United Way any money. I'm not giving Neighbor to Neighbor any money. I'm not giving my local charities any money. I want to see these people out in the media saying there's too many people here. We can't afford to bring more in. We have to stop. Instead of just asking me for more money every year.
CBC,
that has to be done. Has to be done.
CBC posted a great article, and it told us how we are keeping holiday costs down this year. Mm-hmm. Some of the tricks that they have gathered when you're talking to people, like shopping early was one of them. And that's actually a pretty good one, but skipping turkey altogether, I guess you could go for bread and nothing else.
Yeah.
And another one is only buying for the kids. This is what we're coming to, right?
Cool.
So they talked to one person, and one of my favorite quotes is, finally rid of the exhausting shopping rush. Sorry. Everybody felt more relaxed over the holidays because buying less. It's just a calming thing. You don't have to deal with the elbowing of the keeping the elbows up when you're shopping. Yeah. The rush of trying to find a parking spot.
Why is there a rush at the mall, by the way? Any idea? Why are malls so busy now? Anyone know? Can we find out about this?
What was interesting when I go back to my car buying experience earlier. I got it at a dealership, right? And because the one car I wanted, it was there. I was like, that's why I bit the bullet and went to the dealership. Holy fuck, Joe. I could not believe how busy the dealership was. I was expecting to be a ghost town.
Where'd you go? Oakville somewhere?
No, Toronto.
Okay.
Honda.
Okay.
I couldn't believe how busy it was fucking over there. Like, it's incredible. I thought nobody had money. I thought nobody was spending if they had. No, man. Every fucking seat, every fucking salesperson had people in front of them, busy, people chatting, shit being done. I don't know, man. Maybe my perception of what's going on is just fucking not a reality, but fuck, man. But when I read articles like this, people are struggling to buy food for shopping only for kids. Could you imagine, shit like Christmas? It's like giving gifts to your friends, loved ones, and not like picking and choosing because you don't have money. It should be time of abundance, right?
Yeah.
But whatever.
I agree. CBC also had an article out today talking about how Canada's inflation stayed flat for November, but grocery prices grew at the fastest pace in nearly 2 years. Like, do you know how worthless these fucking numbers are at this point? Yeah, go ahead. You got that one? You got that one?
No, okay, I got a beauty here, an absolute fucking beauty. Okay, right? Sure. You want to talk about food prices? GTA paralegal. This is fucking great. He's offering pro bono services for first-time offenders arrested for stealing groceries.
I love it. What's the guy's name?
Oh, the coroners would love this. Silverstein, I think, is his last name.
All right. Well, good for him, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's for you know what? It's probably a good way to get your client list up because you're not going to be just a one-time offender if you're doing that. You'll be a repeat customer.
This stuff is fucking great. He's launching a holiday initiative offering pro bono services because people are, it's too much to pay for food. What the fuck, man?
Buddy, it's worth turning. Worth turning. How is that? Why is that allowed to be done? Like doesn't anyone in the police services or like the municipality have something to say about that?
He says he'll be offering up services to first-time offenders accused of stealing groceries out of necessity,
right?
At no cost to his clients. He said he's hearing more cases of Ontarians getting charged for stealing necessities, items like bread, eggs, and baby formula. So, yeah, man, you might get caught, but good news, you're gonna get free legal advice as a result.
Society only works if people are not allowed to steal bread. Like you can't steal bread. It's just the way it is. It's not allowed. You can't do it. Ask these places like Chicago that have no grocery stores anymore. You cannot go this direction.
They have the government-run ones, yeah. So
yeah.
Another beauty article. This is from CTV News saying, this is the quote, the title. I don't even know the answer to this question. How did Canada's young people become its unhappiest generation?
Who could have seen this coming? How did it happen?
What the fuck? They're talking about this 27-year-old having to go back to live with his parents in Kitchener because he couldn't make it living downtown in Toronto. Like, let's be honest. Like, you fucking pay people to be home. You pay businesses to stay open.
Yeah.
Money get devalued as a result. And then salaries are not keeping pace. And young people take it the worst because they have the least amount of hard assets compared to like people in older generations. Somebody that has house or houses, it sucks to watch the value of their currency go down, but you have a hard asset and that's going to hopefully be able to sustain yourself moving forward. But somebody that's in their 20s or 30 that have fucking nothing, they just come out of school, they're fucking they have no fucking hope. And then they're saying, why are they the unhappiest? I don't fucking have a clue. Look in the fucking mirror. What the fuck?
It's actually like there's an economic piece to this, but I think there's a social piece and kind of an expectations piece too. I'm big on this idea that you have to be able to find a mate, and you basically get recorded anytime you approach a girl now. So you can't just like talk to chicks in the coffee shop like you used to be able to when we were younger. Third spaces, which are important for development and relationship building, places that are not work or school. They're basically overrun by third world hordes now. You can't go to the mall. There's smash and grabs and crime and annoying, groups of people speaking desert languages and annoying you. So you don't want to go there. You can't go to a lot of third spaces as well because it's just too expensive. Starbucks is not going to let you hang out anymore without buying an $8 coffee. So you have these problems where we leaned on these things for developmental reasons, but also for relationship building reasons, both platonic and romantic. And without these things, you wind up with kids who are inside all the time. And I think I said this on Phil Box's show, but I'll say it here again, just for those who didn't hear it. The biggest, most successful companies in the world, they're trying to remove human interaction from your daily life. They're trying to make sure you're never around. What's a good example? You're never around other people. You're not around strangers, right? And what happens when you're not around strangers is you don't develop. Your teeth are not sharp, to use that old phrase. And when your teeth are not sharp, you don't ever find yourself being able to demonstrate expertise. And when you can't demonstrate expertise, it's hard to find friends and community and things like that, but it's also hard to find a partner. And so you wind up in this spiral where you're just like playing video games, ordering food.
That's the one. The one. The first you said the video. That is a huge problem.
It's hard,
right?
It's hard.
And
man.
I play my video games, but I have a fucking life.
I game a lot too, but it's an escape from my busy life, not my entire life.
Not a replacement.
Yeah,
of something.
That's right.
There are people out there, and the one thing I said this before. I think privately, I don't know. The one thing I like to watch on YouTube is trolling videos. I love trolling videos. I don't know why. It's maybe because I'm a troll at heart. And this guy goes on these custom servers like Red Dead Redemption, GTA 5, stuff like that, where people live lives on there, and he fucking trolls the fuck out of them. But the sad reality is people do these menial tasks, like they work grocery stores in like GTA 5.
Yeah.
They're there behind a fucking counter.
Yeah.
They go to work, They come back from some shitty fucking job. They come home to pretend to like be in this different reality.
It's
and they're
brutal.
doing a shitty job. They're doing a fucking McWage job.
Yeah.
It is actually crazy. Another problem.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And you don't grow like that. And there is something to be said about, I think, just the difficulty that these things present to development, and we don't talk about it. You know, I see Pablo in the chat saying Twitch is the new third space. I think there's some truth to that, dude. These kids didn't get a chance, especially now when you look at the COVID years, right? 2020 till basically last year, I guess, or 2 years ago. You didn't get the key developmental years, you know, high school for some, elementary for some, university for some. Those are big years. If you miss one of those phases, you're going to miss a big chunk of skill growth that you really do need in a lot of ways. You just become this online, you know, screen starer, and you forget how things work and how people operate in the meat space and how social interactions work. And you forget what it's like to go to the bar and try and pick up a girl on the dance floor, go to the bar with your buddies and do some dumb shit that's not going to get you killed, but will give you a story to tell, and you'll grow from it.
Michael Ma, he knows how to fucking dance.
Yeah, he knows how to dance. But yeah, it's sad, man. And these media companies spinning up these tales about, oh, it's the cost of housing. Like, that's part of it. Immigration, part of it. But it's a lot of things. And there's no easy fix for this now. And so, you know, this is contributing, of course, to stuff like declining birth rates and marriage unhappiness and blah, blah, blah. So don't forget, too, that it's hard to find a job now as well. Third spaces for kids used to be their jobs. They used to go there at McDonald's and hang out, have fun while they were flipping burgers. Like, I remember working at Zeller's. I loved it. You know, I made a lot of friends there and grew as a person. Pawn shop, same thing. It was a really good job. You got to be yourself and learn and grow. But without those opportunities, how do you evolve as a person? You can't do it in your basement. Your parents could be the best meaning people in the world, but you know, you need to be with other people to find out what you are as a person. And without that, you're cooked, as the kids would say.
That's it, Joey. We're going to go to the Hamilton versus Brampton segment.
Brought to you by 256 Heat. Can you hear the miner? No. Is it running? Yes. A lot of people at the dinner, very, like I said, excited by the idea of being able to heat your house with a miner. So,
did you see your payday today, by the way? Like not brains.
A lot of blocks. Yeah.
Ocean did a heck of a payout.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a lot of people using it.
Yeah, they're doing well. That's a good.
Juan is very busy.
Yeah.
And as a result, people want his services. People want his product.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was on the show last week, a lot of people inquired about what he has to offer.
Yeah.
The reason being, if you want to heat an area of your house or maybe like outside your house, like a storage shed or
it's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer. Yeah.
You know, if you have to heat it, you might as well use a heater that will get you Bitcoin, and you get that paid mostly on a daily.
Yeah.
Sometimes twice daily or 3 times.
Yeah. And you can set your own. Tuan will help you with the flow. Like, he'll set you up with Coinos, and you can get your payouts every day if you want, or every few days. For me, I set it at a certain threshold before I get paid on chain. It's great. It's set and forget, honestly. So can't beat it. Go to 256 Heat. Tell them we sent you. You get a discount, and of course, help support the show as well. So I'll close the chat. Hamilton man versus Brampton man. Here we go.
So 2 men are facing a combined 38 charges in connection with an alleged fake taxi scam, according to police. And they say that the incidents...
this is so easy. So easy.
They happened throughout 2024, 2025, and usually took place at shopping mall parking lots. And a suspect pretending to be a taxi passenger would approach victims asking for help, explaining that he was unable to pay the fare because the driver only accepted debit cards. And once the victims agreed to pay to help and hand over their debit cards, a second suspect posing as the taxi driver would discreetly exchange them for a stolen debit card with the same bank, and the suspect would then be used at the point of sale terminal connected to a laptop to record the victim's PIN numbers. And then, you know, they go to town withdrawing money, the whole 9 yards. And a couple of guys were arrested, a 22-year-old and a 25-year-old. And police are asking if there's any more victims out there. Please contact the police and let them know what the fuck happened to you.
Yeah.
That's one story. So second story is we have a man caught smuggling 5,000 leeches in his luggage. And this guy was fined $15,000. after he was caught flying into Canada with a suitcase full of leeches. And these were medicinal leeches he carried in his luggage. And according to Environment and Climate Change Canada, he flew from Canada to Pearson, and this was in a reusable grocery bag, of all places, by the way. And so within that bag, there's 10 small dampened cloths. And so a dog, what the fuck's going on, working at the borders, smelled the leeches, alerted the police, the people over there, something's up. They opened it, it was like, holy fuck, there's some leeches here. Surprisingly, all the leeches survived, and
no leeches were harmed in this operation.
So apparently these are medicinal and they're used to stimulate blood flow. And these sell between $8 and $20 each of these leeches. So they're pretty prices. And eventually the guy pleaded guilty to violating the Wild Animal and Plant Protection and Regulations and regulations of international and interprovincial trade acts. So the guy was fined. And apparently the illegal wildlife trade is worth $20 billion a year. This guy was trying to take a bite out of that. And so they say Canada does not tolerate the exploitation of threatened species for profit. So leeches, stay out. So that's it. We have the guy with the leeches.
Not as easy as I thought, Lance. Not as easy as I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you my thoughts here. I really thought the first one was Indian Man.
I lost your audio. Yeah.
Well, I got unplugged there for saying Indian Man. Anyway,
you're back.
Yeah. But then the leeches thing. This is a tough one. This might be your best one yet. Because the leeches thing, you think, sort of.
Yeah, I know where you're going. You don't gotta say anything more. It's just it's enough.
But the cab scam, plus the age of those guys, 22 and 25 or something, like that's like a kind of a new immigrant age, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, but it could be.
Give me second man is Brampton Man and first man is Hamilton Man.
So the
cab guy, guy is the Hamilton guy, and the leech guy is the Brampton guy.
No, you're wrong. The Hamilton.
Wow, got me.
So the taxi dudes are 22-year-old Manir Singh, and 25-year-old Saeed Hunain, and the Hamilton dude is a Russian, Ippolit Bodunov.
Wow. How did I get nuked by that? I can't believe it. You got me.
With the leeches. Fuck.
Wow.
How the fuck do you get So he was flying from Russia to Toronto.
Jeez.
But that's the leeches could be right. Like,
yeah.
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're swimming in the Ganges over there, right? So I thought for sure that was going to be good job by you on that.
Yeah. See, initially it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Well done.
So next week,
I should have trusted my instincts. I should the cab scam. I should have trusted my instincts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Damn.
So next week, for people that are listening to this deep in the show, we have 8 different matches.
Yeah.
4 of them you're gonna throw to me. I'm gonna throw.
You already have them all?
I have all of them.
Okay. So I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do anything at all.
I'm gonna write them off right now. And if people want them changed, we could change them. Okay. I don't know who's gonna get what, but I have Surrey versus Brampton.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Okay. Hamilton versus Windsor.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, like that.
Niagara Falls versus London.
It's like an OHL
Oshawa
tournament.
Versus Bradford.
Okay.
Markham versus Richmond.
Very good. Those are close.
Montreal versus the rest of Quebec.
Okay.
Calgary versus Edmonton. Prince Albert versus Newfoundland.
Wow. East Coast. Wow. Okay.
And Prince Albert. That's
going to the Maritimes. All right.
Yeah, I had to throw in one out east. So
nice.
Yeah,
I'm glad you got them all. I don't have to do anything. That's great. That's even better.
So I'm just gonna figure out. Maybe I'll just do like a flip of the coin or put it in ChatGPT. Figure out who gets what. Unless anybody who has some different matches.
Send them in. We're happy to look at them.
Ideally, I don't think I want to give it to you later than Thursday this week. Sure. I want to give you some time to prep. That gives you 3-4 days to figure shit out.
Okay.
So ideally, I want to give it to you Thursday night after Access Easy. Here's yours, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. I'm in. Count me in.
Better than March Madness. I fucking agree. So
no NIL money here.
So this is going to be our show next week. There'll be no Bitcoin news, no rest of the, this is it. And the week after, Joey, just heads up, it's going to be the 29th of December. It's another one. I'm not sure what we want to do.
I don't think we're going to do anything. I think we might actually take a week off.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll re-release an old episode. I could do that. We have some ones in the tank that are favorites, but we don't really talk about them anymore.
Yeah,
some stuff that's off the feed, but we still have obviously available to us if we want to re-release them. We could do that.
Is it topical though?
Some of it's evergreen. Like we got a good Foss one that we're sitting on. The QTR
did we
one.
Ever release that Foss one?
We did. It has a special disclaimer on the front of it.
Yeah.
That I did after the fact because it was so harsh. That one was good. I have the QTR and Larry Lepard one was really good, and that one is off the feed now too. There's a few good ones. We'll think about something to do. Who knows?
You know what? There may be time that we just do re-airing of just old episodes for the next year and a half, 2 years. And
we could re-release big events. Like we could re-release the FTX crash episode, the BlockFi crash episode. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Talking of reruns, I just have to say, rest in peace, Meathead. And I'm fucking shocked this happened. Rob Reiner.
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
he'll be known as Meathead.
Yeah. Greenlit Seinfeld, by the way.
He what?
He greenlit Seinfeld. He's the guy who greenlit Seinfeld.
I had no idea he was involved in that project. Yeah. So I loved him in All in the Family. He was fucking great. He was a Meathead. And surprisingly, in his younger years, he was more right wing than Carol O'Connor, who played Archie Bunker. O'Connor was more left wing at that time. And in the show, Archie was a fucking staunch right winger, and Meathead was a staunch left winger.
There you go. R.I.P. Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
Crazy story. Anyway, that's it. So we won't see you this week for an interview unless something changes, and then we'll be back next week with the locale battle, the jurisdiction battle you've all been waiting for. It's Monday night. We'll see you then.
Take care.